Hello everybody, welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight's game of Curse of Strahd. We're at episode 9. This is a pretty big episode here. We've made it to the town of Vallaki. There's lots of moving parts in this campaign. We haven't found any cookies yet, but hopefully soon. Maybe we'll get some cookies soon. We had pies, obviously, earlier in the campaign, but now we're looking for cookies in Vallaki. But we'll see if we can find any oatmeal raisin for Andrew and me. We'll see. Of course, we got Andrew back, my pal who loves oatmeal raisin cookies with me. And he's muted, and we can't hear him. We also have... Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, I brought cookies to share everyone, but I ate them all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
He was furiously eating them right before we went live, and now they're all gone. But there was oatmeal raisin. There was some golden Oreos.
Golden Oreo. There was a backwards golden Oreo, a misformed, a Barovian Oreo.
It was a Barovian Oreo, yes.
Yeah, because the back was on backwards.
It was on backwards, yeah. And a lot of things are backwards here in Barovia. We've also got Tim, of course, with us. How's it going, Tim?
What's going on, gang? How we doing?
We're doing all right. And how's dinner tonight, Tim? What do you got for us?
Show us.
The only thing I have left is the pint of Ben and Jerry's I ate. But my Hello Fresh meal was delicious.
So Andrew's having cookies, and Tim had a pint of ice cream. What an adult.
That's what happens when they give children adult money.
That's it. That's what happens. Michelle, any snacks for you?
Hey, no snacking tonight, but right before we came online, I did have some lamb shawarma for dinner.
Oh, a delight. Nice. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you homemade?
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I wish.
No.
Not
it's
yet.
all right. It's always good to go out, grab something easier on the kitchen, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly. No dishes to clean up afterwards. That's the best part for me, at least.
The best. Throw it all away. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Stefano, what about you? Any snacks?
Not my snack was taking a nap.
Nice. Been working hard, right?
The best
working
snack
hard.
there is.
Some people
It was great. It was a great nap. I had crazy dreams about who knows with all these pies that I've been eating.
Were they dream pastry dreams?
Yeah.
Delicious pies.
Except the dream pastry was lobster mac and cheese.
There you go. Hey, you get some dreams from that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been snacking on protein chips lately. They're okay.
Protein chips. So is it just like
it's like Doritos, but they're protein chips.
Are they any good?
They're not bad.
Mm.
And as somebody who has a huge chip craving, they're a better alternative.
Chickpea chips. That's what I like.
Yeah. Maybe
See,
I'll try those too.
I've always thought of you as someone with a chip on their shoulder, Stefano.
Yeah, I've got plenty of chips on my shoulder. Sometimes I'm drowning in them.
Is it just the one shoulder, or are they distributed?
No, it's just the one shoulder, which is why I'm in pain so often.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next time Christian's on the channel, he's got some really hot takes on chips. We were going to start a podcast at one point about chips.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
We got to get Christian back on the channel. It's been too long. Been too long. Robert in the chat says 12 minutes. 12 minutes. I think meaning 12 minutes late, right? We started like 8:42. That's like being 20 minutes early. I agree. This is a new thing for us coming on this early. Look at that.
Yeah, right. It's great.
Yeah.
Your team.
Now we have to make sure that we still wait as long as possible to start playing our game. So we'll we do have to fill some time here. So my question to everyone today is It's actually, well, I don't even know if it's really a question.
I thought you were just asking about snacks.
No,
I thought you just like casually did an icebreaker.
No, I have a real icebreaker.
The subtle intro.
Yeah, it was a subtle maybe, but that was actually just a tie-in from last week because so many people commented the type of cookies that they liked, and I know Andrew had his, so I wanted to just chat quickly about what we're reading right now. But no, I actually have a real serious question for all of you. It's so serious. In fact, Stefano, it's maybe up your alley. It's about music. So,
what's that?
are you ready for it?
Okay, sure.
All right. Well, it's really not. I don't even really have a question per se, but I just wanted to share something with all of you. I have, I've talked about my musical interests here on the channel. I'm a big classic rock guy. I mean, I like heavy metal as well. Big time Metallica fan. Bruce Springsteen's probably my favorite artist. That's kind of like my, the vein that I listen to musically. Classic rock in general, I'm a big fan of. And I just found out, and I don't know how it's been possible, but there's a band named Greta Van Fleet. I don't know if you're all familiar with it.
They're great.
Oh, you would know them, Tim. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just discovered them 2 days ago. So
yeah, they're big in the alt rock scene. They're good.
Yeah, they sound so much like obviously like Led Zeppelin. I think they're really that was their inspiration. I'm sure, but it's such a refreshing sound to hear new music in that like I said in that vein in that classic rock theme. I'm excited to explore more. So I was going to ask you what are some of your newer musical interests, or even if you just want to share your favorites, your classics, your go-to. So it's really not a question. It's just, what are you all listening to? And Tim, since you know this band, do you have any suggestions? I don't know.
Man, Bob, I know Stefano is the music teacher, but I have lots of thoughts on music. My Spotify, if anything ever happened to Spotify servers and I lost my Spotify, it would be maybe the worst thing. It'd be like the burning of the library at Alexandria, honestly. It would be such a loss for me. I have so many well-curated, artistically designed playlists. We will talk more tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
But the short answer is
what do you like?
new music. I've been on the Zach Bryan and Noah Khan train, which is like kind of a little bit folksy, kind of like country, but not like stadium country. Kind of like so it's been a good vibe, and I feel like I followed them since they come up. Right, I saw them both at Webster Hall for like $15. Now their tickets for like nosebleeds are like $250, $300 tickets. So.
Zach Bryan, is that
Zach Bryan? Yeah, Bryan.
Zach with a K or an H?
Zach Bryan, ZACH space BRYAN, and then Noah Khan, Noah NOAH, Khan KAHAN.
Done.
Neither of them really fall under the Greta Van Fleet category, but they're like both kind of new to the music scene, and they're both pretty solid. So anyone check them out.
I'm checking them out. You mentioned Stefano, obviously being a music teacher. Stefano, you got any suggestions for us? What do you listen to?
Newer music.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Not really. I'll tell you for sure, not Travis Scott.
I don't know who that is, but
I just found out today, and I listened to some of his music, and I wasn't impressed.
Oh, this is not a recommendation. I apologize. I thought you were giving me a recommendation.
So I guess I got two kind of new-ish, but also old bands.
Okay, go for it.
Well, one of them's a band. Panic at the Disco, I like.
Oh,
they dropped an album in like 2019. That's,
they're
newish.
famous. I've heard of. If I've heard of them, they're famous.
They're older, right? They're like 2010s.
Yeah, they're not new. Yeah. And by the way, don't be mistaken. I'm not saying new music. I mean new to you. Because like you could totally have discovered something that's ancient, like the Strahd, the land. I don't know.
And then the other new-ish artist that I like is Dua Lipa.
Love Dua Lipa. Gotta love her.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Awesome. What about you, Michelle?
But anything brand new, forget about it.
Really? Okay.
I just haven't gotten there yet.
Teacher says no good new music. Got it. Writing it down right now. Tell us in the chat what you listen to, and if you're listening to this post game, comment down below. What should I listen to? Give me a suggestion. Help me out. What about you, Michelle?
I also haven't really been listening to new music lately. Dua Lipa was a really good one, Stefano. I guess I have in the last few months come to appreciate her work more. But I guess one of my like go-to classics in general, like if I don't know what to listen to and I'm looking for something, my go-to band is Muse.
Muse.
Um, yeah, and
Knights
they've
of
been
Sidonia.
That
yes,
song is great.
exactly.
It's
I
the
feel
one
like
song I
so
know.
many other songs are great. They have
Yeah.
shifted a little bit more recently in more recent years, but still good, still good.
I mean,
And if I'm not sure what to listen to, it's Muse.
all right. I mean, who hasn't shifted a little bit?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So can't blame them.
Andrew, The Who, The Beatles, The Rolling Stones. Who am I missing here?
Well, I don't know. I'm not very up. This is how up I am.
I
I
mean,
got a
those
record
bands
player.
are not new, so don't.
I got a
Oh,
I
come
got a
on, Stones
record
put out new
player.
music.
I got a record player for Christmas, so I could play my old records,
Ah.
which are all in England, so it's not that helpful.
Hmm.
But my parents shipped some stuff to me because they moved house. They needed to ship all the stuff from their attic, and they didn't want to throw it away, so they just shipped it all to me. But my mother shipped me her childhood music collection. So I've been digging it to like Cliff Richard and Herman's Hermits, these kind of like 1965 era
Wow.
bands. There's
Herman's
some
Hermits.
Beatles ones in there. Yeah.
Wow. Anybody else a Herman Hermits fan out there? Let us know because I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Something tells me I'm into something good. Isn't that Herman's
hmm
Hermits?
hmm
I
There's
can't
Mrs.
place it.
Jones. You've got a lovely daughter.
Oh man, I gotta do some deep dives tonight.
Deep cuts, yeah.
Well, I know
British
what's
invasion
happening.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right after the stream tonight, right? We'll do a quick TPK and then I'll get right to some music downloads. And yeah. All right. Well, let's get started because I'm excited to play, and I'm sure everybody here is excited to stop wasting time. So we're gonna do that. Let's see
Fantastic.
here. And
Ooh.
two couple of I guess shout outs last week. I was not paying attention to the chat, and I did see that the Dot Game, also known as James from KC, Patreon member, gifted some memberships. He gifted 10 memberships, so thank you, James. Appreciate that as always. And then there was also a super chat that I missed, and I apologize. I'm going to be really trying to catch that. If anybody here see, I think Stefano, you ended up thanking the super chat, so I appreciate that. If anybody sees anything, let us know. Always want to say thank you to people who support the channel. Appreciate it. And I don't have any more like updates or anything like that, but I do have one thing to say. This weekend, I will be announcing kind of like a pretty cool big thing, so stay tuned. It's let's say getting in the mood for Valentine's Day, a themed Valentine's Day adventure. So we'll see. But coming out soon, all right? And none of you are invited because
Because we're all heartbreakers.
I'm going with the A squad for that one. Just
I
kidding.
like my line better.
The Alcoholics Anonymous squad?
If only.
Only alcoholics allowed to play in
that's
the
it.
Valentine's Day
That's
game?
what the A means, exactly. All right, so last time we played, let's jump in. I'm going to get us into our... Oh, yeah. We're in Barovia now. Look at that. Last time we played, we had quite an adventure. Irina and Rufus ended up defending the whole party from a rogue scarecrow who attacked. And after the fight with the hags, everybody was either depleted or was sleeping because of the pies, and they had to together work and defeat this evil creature who stalked you through the night. You were able to defeat him again through help of Yune and Irina, and save the group.
But mostly
you were all...
me.
Say it again.
Mostly me.
It was. I mean, you were the hero. You were the one making the charge, but it was a team effort from the team NPC and Rufus, and you were able to get through and sleep through the night. Unfortunately, you and Irina both suffered levels of exhaustion, which hopefully are going to be, a thing of the past soon because you're able to get to Vallaki. Vallaki is the biggest town in Ravenloft. It is a huge, I wouldn't say city, but it's definitely the biggest town, nearly at least 3 or 4 times the size of the village of Barovia, which was always kind of under the shadow of Ravenloft, the castle. Now, here, you feel a bit of a reprieve. When you entered the gates, the the two guards didn't want to let you in because they have strict rules about who can come into the city. They seem to have an issue with werewolves. They just had a festival called the Wolf's Head Jamboree, where you saw heads of wolves lining the wall and the road to get into the city, or at least the morning gate, or the gate on the eastern side. And you came in, and they did allow you in after some negotiation. You presented Irina Kolyana, the burgomaster's daughter, and they were able to trust you a bit. They did do one little test. They cut Rufus's palm, spilling some of his blood onto the floor. Clearly, you would not be allowed in if you're a werewolf, and you've proven that you are, because if it wasn't, if you were a werewolf, that wouldn't have hurt you. So they let you in, and Irina, based on that and Irina's reputation, and you headed to St. Andrew's Church, which I think was your first. Once you came in, you met Angelica, one of the commoners. She said that's probably where you're going to want to go. It's where you're going to want to bring the kids. It's the only place she could really think of. As you walked through the town, you ended up seeing a couple of things. You saw a stockyard. You saw the town square where there were people in the stockade. You saw that there were posters in a posting board discussing the Wolf's Head Jamboree, and it was, that was a festival that happened just a few days ago. So you basically have gotten a little sense of this town, even through your kind of just a walk through, and Angelica's couple of responses to your questions. There is a baron here, Baron Vallaki, who is the burgomaster of Vallaki, and he feels that he has been keeping the city safe. How, you might ask? Well, he's keeping it safe because of fun, and it's mandatory. Fun is mandatory here in Vallaki. You must be optimistic. All will be well is the slogan. You not only have heard other people say it to you, but you've also seen it posted. All will be well. And the burgomaster believes that he is truly keeping Strahd at bay by having, high hopes, thoughts, and prayers, so to speak. But you learned a little bit more when you got to Father Lucian at the Church of St. Andrew's. St. Andrew's Church was a modest church, but there was a big following there. Dozens of people were praying right at dusk, and when you came in and the service ended, you got a chance to talk with him. He's happy to take in the children, but he doesn't have room for much more, and he can't take care of an infant. So our little 1-year-old Micah is going to have to stay with you for the time being. But he did say that you can stay there that night, so you're going to get a full night's rest, and he told you a couple of other things that are important, namely that you are all angels that he has been praying for. You've come to him in his time of need because just a few days ago, the bones of St. Andral, the patron saint of this church and the Morning Lord, were stolen. No one but him should have known about the bones, and they are what truly keeps the town of Vallaki safe. It was warding Strahd and his vampire forces out. So, with that, we're going to pick it back up in the church, and I think we just ended a conversation with Father Lucian. If you'd like to ask him any more questions, though, we will pick it right up from there. So we're in his private quarters, and you may begin.
I would like to, I don't know what kind of check this would be, maybe insight, but I want to see if he's like hiding something from us, or if he seems as if he has any ulterior motives while he's sharing this narrative.
Sure. Would you like to make an insight check? Is that what you want to?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not great at insight, but I'll give it a go.
Go ahead and just call out your number because we're not on the Roll20 screen just yet.
All right. It's a big old 7. What do I see?
I mean, he seems very emotional right now. He does feel like you might have been a blessing, right? He's expressed that quite a bit, and you can tell that he is not holding back. Like he's speaking very freely. Now, again, whether that is a really good ruse or not, that's to be determined. But he's very passionate about what he speaks right now. All will be well. Yes, Mr. Blank. All will be well. Looking at the chat here.
All will be well.
So, tell me, Father, who knows about these bones besides you?
That's the strangest thing, Rufus. No one should. There were previous priests here at St. Andrew's, but as I told you, it's been a tradition passed on to the priests that the bones are what keeps this church and this town protected from the evil devil himself.
The priest all passed away.
Yes, their remains are located here in the cemetery.
And does Strahd know this is why he can't get in here?
To be quite honest with you, I've never encountered Strahd. I've only left here a few times in my life. I've been to all of the towns. I've been to Kresk. I've been to Kresk more than I've been to the village, referencing Barovia. But I've never met Strahd. And I would like to live the rest of my life never seeing him.
Where is Kresk?
He says, "Oh, Kresk, it's a difficult journey in one day, but it can be done if you have a guide."
What
It's
is
to the
it, a
west.
town?
It's to the west of here, yes, Kresk. And I'll spell it for you. Krezk. Or it might be an S. Am I wrong? It might be an S instead of a Z, but either way, it's that.
Unclear. Our map was stolen last time anyway.
It sure
That's true.
was.
That's true. I didn't bring that up, actually, Tim, in the review, but you're...
I just remembered when you
Yeah,
mentioned
but he was
Kresk.
mentioning different things. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, your bag, Irina's bag with the map was stolen by a young blonde-haired girl, maybe about 16, 17 years old. She pickpocketed, or not pickpocketed, in a crowd, she just lifted it.
Lucian, it seems that for all intents and purposes, what we've heard about the Baron is that he truly believes that he's keeping this place safe. But what of the company he keeps? It seems like he employs some underhanded fellows.
You see his kind of face change a bit. He was more excited, but he kind of gets a little more dour, and he says, "Izek, I know you must be referring to Izek."
Yes.
We've only heard the name once or twice.
He is head of Baron's security. He's in charge of the watch. I mean, all of our villages need some sort of structure, order, protection. And there probably isn't anyone better than Izek to do so. He's a very powerful, imposing figure. Now, in terms of the company he keeps, I do believe he is a good man. He was good enough for my sister to wed.
Does your sister know about the bones?
She is aware that there are the bones of Saint Andral here, but that's not something I would have confided in her. That it protects the town. I've told no one, not a soul.
Was your sister a member of this church before she wed the Baron?
Of course. The Baron is not a religious man, though. It pains me to say this, for my sister was very devout.
What is your sister's name?
The Baroness is Lydia Petronova. And now she is married to the Baron, Baron Vallaki.
I see. And
This
has
is
she lost faith since she married the Baroness as well? The Baron as well?
No, I keep in touch with my sister regularly. I'm hoping to have her here next week. He looks like he thinks for a moment, thinking about the date, and he's, in fact, in 6 days we'll have the Feast of Saint Andral. I hope that she'll be here, and it would be imperative to get the bones back. I don't know if I can truly speak to the people, to the congregation without them here.
So, just to clarify, your sister knew that the bones of Saint Andral were here, but not necessarily the properties they held?
Correct.
Did anybody else know that the bones were here?
It's possible some villagers know. It's not something that's talked about on a regular basis. They were entombed here decades ago.
But certainly no one else knew that they had religious properties related to... Okay.
that is something that the priesthood here has made a secret and made it a point to keep that for the safety of the town from everyone.
Thank you, Father, for clarifying.
Well, I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm exhausted.
You must
feel
be
in the-
tired.
In the morning, I will give this Baron a call. You must give me a letter of recommendation,
Or perhaps a letter of introduction.
or both.
I will-
Recommendation and introduction.
I will
2
introduce
letters.
you to the recommendation that will introduce you to my sister, who will then recommend that you introduce yourselves to the Baron.
Wonderful. Is there anything else we should know about this Isek character?
Not much. A simple man, quite. He just has a bit of a temper and can get carried away.
Is it possible that he's the one running things around here?
Oh no, no. He is but a lapdog of the Baron. He would never turn on my sister or my brother-in-law. Would not happen.
Does he leave the town ever?
Isaac?
Yes.
I'm sure from time to time, but I would not know his day-to-day schedule. I would not know when he has last left. I assume that he has. He does have a bit of a mutation. Don't be alarmed if you are introduced and see him. I would not call attention to it, but his arm is a bit deformed. As I said, he can be sensitive about it, so try not to stare, try not to bring attention to it.
Yes, I believe it was Angelica who told us not to talk about his arm.
Oh, Angelica, what a devout follower she is.
Now,
Sad
I
she was not here
suppose-
tonight.
I suppose it wouldn't do well for us to mention to the Baron about Isek's men intimidating us and taking my friend's gold.
There are some pickpockets in the town. I would be careful, though. You wouldn't want a young child, practically, to lose their hand.
I don't think he's worried about the pickpocket as much as the scam the guards are running.
Oh, you're referring to the guards. He seems a little confused. What scheme?
Well,
Well-
after... Go ahead, please.
After the guards said, or took about 30 of our gold, remind me, Laurent, they said something about take it up with Isek or give our regards to Isek or something.
Tell Isek you're taken care of.
Ah,
Oh, well,
It sounds like
that is
they're
not very
running-
good.
Mafia-style protection racket.
That is not very good. That troubles me deeply. I will pray about this.
thank you, Father.
Please, I will leave you to your rest. He's gonna let you sleep in like his private quarters here. There's not much. It's a simple room. There is a bed, but I'm sure that you would probably have the kids maybe sleep there, kind of share that bed, and then the rest of you would settle up your bedrolls on the floor or something like that. But yeah, he'll close up the church and let everybody rest, and we'll
Is the door to the cellar anywhere around us? Like,
There is, yeah. I mean, it's not in this area, but you can get to it.
okay, just at some point in the night, maybe I would want to go kind of investigate, check out the door, see if I can find any clues.
It's beneath the chapel, he says.
Oh,
So you'd
Okay.
have to go back into like the main area where the services would be held, and there's like a trap door locked underneath like the maybe like the altar area. There's like something that's hidden, and he would let you down there. There is a key.
You wouldn't mind us investigating down there then, Father?
If you'd like, I assumed that you would like to rest. Maybe perhaps in the morning?
I would like to rest. Let's
looks
rest
to the-
first.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I know you had good sleep after those pies. Some of us did not get the same level of rest.
I'm jonesing for more dreams.
All right, so then why don't we...
Rufus,
Yeah.
Rufus, a question before we retire.
Yes.
You heard the father refer to us as angels, isn't that correct?
Yes.
But isn't it true that you have a sense to be able to figure out the true nature of people?
Yes.
You haven't picked up anything of that sort from anyone in our party, have you?
No. Everybody in our party is as they seem, according to what I can sense.
Yes, that's what I thought as well.
Would you like me to confirm with the Gwaindire before we sleep surreptitiously?
I would appreciate that, Rufus.
Okay.
Is this going on in front of me and
No, this is a side
oh,
conversation.
just okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
We're still
so-
discussing sneaking into the basement, Tony.
Yeah, so I'm going to do divine sense, but quietly. Gwaindire, tell me who is near.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's a 30-foot aura that cannot go through like solid surfaces more than an inch or something like that.
Not behind total cover, and it has a funny list of things. Like it can't penetrate lead. It's like
Yeah.
like a
So-
foot of wood or something like that.
Right. So basically, if you were in a room, it's limited to what's in the room. So if you
But
would
it
like to
depend
do
on the
that,
thickness of the walls.
well, if something has total cover, it would block it. So basically, if
Total
you're
cover would block it. Yeah.
right, so if they're not in the room, it wouldn't catch.
Yes.
It's a bit limited, I agree, but it is pretty powerful. You basically, like you said, when you did it to the hags, immediately you knew that this is a trap. You were not going to fall into any, trap from them, basically.
I'm just checking the party out, really.
Sure. You don't sense any fiends, celestials, undead, or fae?
Canas, be assured.
Actually, no,
everyone is
you
as they
do.
seem.
You do,
Oh,
actually, Andrew.
well, you know.
Yune.
But we all know
Ah.
that she's a fiend. All I
Yune
sense
is
Canas is
fae,
Yune.
by the way, Andrew. I don't know if you know that. You sense fae.
Fae. Oh, of
Fae.
course, yeah, she just looks like a fiend.
Yeah.
Of course, I just sense the Fae, Yune.
The Fae who has taken
Looks
the
like a
appearance
fiend.
of a fiend.
But that's not a true nature. You see, a thing can have a true nature apart from its characteristics and measurable qualities. It's what
Of
the
course.
scientists have wrong.
Well, thank you, Rufus, for confirming what I felt like I already knew. But
No problem.
I just had to be sure.
And just to add one last thing to the conversation, obviously you're welcome to stay there tonight. Father Lucian will, put himself out so you can sleep there. But he does urge you to go perhaps to the Blue Water Inn to secure lodging for the future. Because he does not have room for you permanently.
Now be assured. We shall sample some of their fine wine.
Then let's do it.
Fine, the operative word.
The finest wines.
So
No, I
with
do
that,
not have any cash right now, so my companions will have to cover me.
They'll cover you. Come on.
Classic Rufus.
What about that? I
Classic
really need to
Rufus.
acquire some funds, better armor.
Let's do this then. Let's rest. Everybody gets a full long rest, which is your you can gain back half your hit dice. At the end of it, you'll roll hit dice to heal any hit point damage, though I don't know that anybody is necessarily injured at this point.
I
But
was.
most importantly, you'll lose the level of exhaustion that you had.
Yeah. I'm changing my spells. I'm changing my prepared spells. I'm going to bring protection from evil and good, in case I need to protect Arena in any fights.
Okay.
I'd like
perfect.
to have a quick private conversation with Yune before we go to bed. Yune,
Yes, Canas?
I need you to do me a favor.
Anything.
Should we come across those pies again,
Mm-hmm.
you must make sure that I do not eat them.
You don't want to eat them? I thought they were delicious.
I do not. You see, what they say about those pies, in those dreams, you see what you want to see.
Hmm.
And Yune, I saw her.
I thought you were going to say that.
I saw Ilanda. And I'd give anything to see her again. But I don't
Poor
think those
Ilanda.
pies are good. Good for you.
You're right. You're totally right. I would love to meet. Is it Yolanda?
Ilanda.
Ilanda.
Yes.
Yulanda, Milanda,
But it's I.
Ilanda.
A-Y.
Aye.
Yune, I'd love nothing more for you to meet her. And maybe you will one day. But
Maybe.
speaking of her, while it does seem that figuring out and getting rid of Strahd is an important goal to getting out of here, don't forget what we came here for.
I will not. Eye
And-
on the prize, as I always say.
Of course, Yune. And no more of those pies for me. No matter
pies.
what I say.
No matter what, I will murder you before you eat another one.
That is exactly as I ask, Yune. Thank you.
Done. Good night, Canas.
Good night, Yune.
And then Yune will go off to, I don't know, Yune doesn't sleep, so I guess she'll just chill out for a little bit.
Makes annoying noises. That bother me.
Float around.
Yeah.
Yune's still a rat.
Floating rat.
Yeah.
Dione?
So, yes, Dione feels suspicious about the fact that the priest said, "Oh, don't worry about the cellar door. Check it out in the morning. It's fine. Just go to sleep." So would Dione be able to just like, when everyone else is asleep, just sneak out and like look at the cellar door?
Certainly,
the
yeah.
rogues
Before
doing
something.
rogue things.
Perfect.
To be fair, the last time we had a priest at the cellar door, it did not go over well with us.
That's true.
Yeah, fair.
That is true.
I can. Yeah, so I just kind of want to look at it.
Sure. Let's do that. So, Tim, is there anything you want to do before you went to sleep? And then once everybody gets some shut eye in the middle of the night, Dione will sneak out.
I will happily and anxiously crush some Z's. You know, I'm like 2 nights of moon pies in right now. Like I can't get enough sleep.
Gotcha. All right, so then everybody's gonna go to sleep. Take your long rest rolls, and while they're doing that, Michelle, we'll go and look at the church, the chapel, I should say. All right, first things first, Michelle, can you roll me a stealth check?
Yes, sir. All right. Hopefully, this is not Dione's last day. We have a 26 for stealth.
Yeah, is anybody's passive perceptions 26 or higher?
No.
Unfortunately, I just have a 24 passive perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, you just miss, and Michelle, you wake up in the middle of the night, or at least maybe never went to bed, and once you feel like everyone is sound asleep, you can hear the kids kind of like in their little murmurs as they wiggle around in the bed. Irina's sound asleep, kind of hugging the children. Rufus, Laurent, Yune's snoring loud, like Even though she doesn't sleep, she's snoring loud.
Yune wants to be just like us.
Canas,
Oh,
and
Doesn't even
Canas,
sleep.
Canas definitely
Very
struggling with his
strange.
dreams.
Uh-huh.
Canas is struggling, but you wake up, and you get out of bed, and it seems as though everyone is sound asleep. What do you do?
Okay, I presume we remember where the chapel is. So I'm going to stealthily sneak out and just head straight for the chapel, sticking to walls and staying in shadows.
Yeah, I imagine the church is the chapel area is where the congregation was when you first walked in, and then beyond that, there were offices, rooms, like where the priest conducts business from. There's even maybe like a bigger hall where maybe people would come to receive some sort of food or things like that during festivals, and then beyond would be the door to the exit, and that would be where all of the cemetery, the gates would start and the cemetery would begin. So it's all connected. So you sneak through, maybe passing the office where you could see the burgomaster's candles just about wearing off. He's sleeping. He's in like a small little, it's like an office, like maybe like a small little sofa in that office that he probably conducts business from. And you can sneak past it and you see him in there resting, eyes closed, shut, quiet. No light, though, once you get past that room in the hall. So your dark vision will kick in.
Nice, perfect. I definitely feel more comfortable in the dark. So I relax a little bit more, and then I continue to where the chapel door is. I also want to like listen. Do I hear any sound of like quiet scuffling or people like shuffling around?
There is nothing going on, nothing moving. Maybe you will hear like a mouse or something like that scurry across the floor, but
Okay.
you would, with your dark vision, you could probably spot that.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just go straight to the chapel and head to the cellar door. Just kind of
Yeah.
like, I guess maybe first I should watch from a distance. So I want to like find a corner to observe the cellar door and just watch for a while to see if I can see anyone going in or out, anything like that.
Sure. So, like I said, in the chapel, like where the priest would stand up beyond the altar, there's like a trap door in the floor. So you can kind of take position inside of the that altar, that upper level where the priest would stand, and then just watch for a minute. And you see or hear nothing. There's nobody. Nobody's going in and out. The door is clearly locked. It's also hidden from view. He told you where it is, so you can estimate where it would be. And after a few minutes, you can go up there. You can pull back like the rug. There's a floor, a trap door in the floor.
Okay, cool. So then I pull back the rug. I'm looking at this trap door. Can I like check for any signs of forced entry? Anything that looks like it's kind of in disrepair?
Actually, I did fail to mention one thing. You look to the area beyond the altar where he said it was. And when you pull back the rug, you see it's floorboards. It's almost like a wooden stage that you're on, right? And so you see there are floorboards here. And it looks as though the floorboards have been pried up. They look like there's some splintering to them. Somebody must have used some sturdy object to pry them up.
Okay. Any claw marks or anything? Or it looks like as if it was like a crowbar or a
Give me an
sturdy
investigation check.
object. Okay, we got an 18.
Yeah, it does look like somebody used either a crowbar or some metallic, something strong enough to splinter the wood, and the floorboards were lifted up with force. No claw marks or anything like that. Certainly a tool was used here.
See. Okay, so then somebody, but not with the key. Let's see. And it's currently locked. Actually, you know what? I think I'm not going to try to open this door because I'm still a little traumatized from what happened after I opened the last cellar door. So, okay, noted. I can see what there is to see. I guess one last thing, I'm just going to put my ear down to the cellar door and be really, really still and quiet. I'm trying to listen for anything.
No
Any
sounds. Nothing.
no sounds at all. Okay, all right. Then I feel satisfied with this cursory investigation. I will sneak back to where everyone else is sleeping and curl up and lay my head down to sleep.
Great, excellent. The morning comes, and the priest is first to rise. He'll come by, and just you can hear him walking. He's not trying to be stealthy here, so anybody that wants their character to wake up, he'll kind of open the door, peer in, see everybody still asleep, and then go about his day, start to get dressed, things like that. And after you all do eventually wake, you can meet him out into the chapel. Good morning, everyone. I hope the accommodations were well enough.
They were very well. Did you have any breakfast?
I have not yet. There will be some porridge soon. It's
While
before
that is
it's
waiting-
before sunup, by the way. It's like early. It's like 5 a.m.
Oh. Would it be possible to go to the cellar and investigate? See if we can find any clues before everyone else wakes up and sees what we are doing.
The church doors are not open. We certainly will be in private. We can go now.
Yes, I think it's important to see where these bones were kept.
He goes back to the altar. Michelle, I know you probably would have put, the rug back in its spot and stuff like that. So he's not going to notice anything. But you can see it now all in full color as you're here. And he turns on like the lanterns and things like that. So there's some light in the church. And he'll go up to the stage where beyond the altar, and he'll lift up the rug and show you. He says, "See, look, these floorboards were pried up." He lifts them up. They clearly are loose at this point. He says, "I just placed them there to cover it back, but I'll need to replace them very soon." He opens it up, and there's a trap door beneath. It is locked. He'll take out a long skeleton key on a very large ring of keys, and he'll open it up. And when he does, the trap door opens, and he says, "Be my guest. After you." And he points to Rufus.
I'll walk in.
He'll give you a lantern
Cautiously.
because it's too dark down there. You'll take it?
Yeah.
First thing you see when you go in is it's a very small. When I say crypt, it is basically a crawl space. It is underground. It goes down. It's a little ladder that goes down. But in totality, it's got a 5-foot ceiling, and it's only 10 feet by 10 feet. So we're talking a very small area. It looks as though there was some sort of resting spot. You can see that there are like candles and some smaller little relics and things like that are here, tribute to the Morning Lord. And where there was what looked like maybe an interred body, the bones are absent. Cloth is sitting there, unfurled, nothing in it.
I don't sense anything. Can I investigate further?
Certainly.
Any,
What
like-
would you like to? Yeah. What would you like to?
I want to look for like small objects that might, like a button or something that somebody might have dropped when they were stealing the bones.
Sure. Go ahead.
Anything untoward.
Give me an investigation check. And anybody else that's down here, I know it's cramped, so I don't know how many of you can actually be down here at once. But maybe like 2 or 3 of you at once, searching, scanning.
I only got 6.
Can I help Rufus look and give him advantage?
Okay.
Oh.
Technically, you have disadvantage on these checks, though, because... well, actually, no, because your lantern would give you bright light within the radius, so you're good. Yeah.
I can cast light down here too.
Okay.
15
That's a
this
cantrip.
time.
Okay, so a 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rufus, you start to shine that light. Laurent is behind you, also casts light, and kind of really the two of you kind of scan this room for anything. No buttons or anything like that. But you do notice that there are, like, it looks like caked mud down here, like it wouldn't have been down here. This is all like basically a stone kind of cellar. And yet there's some caked mud down here. So it must have been from a boot print.
Someone's been down here. There's mud.
I noticed the
Fresh mud.
same. I noticed the same. The father, Lucian, calls from top.
So
He
this
said-
is no spiritual being that did this. This is looks to be a human. No
Hmm.
special magic here.
Is
I
it
just don't know who would have done it.
is it possible, like, I imagine in Dungeons and Dragons, like, there's still, like, individual cobblers making boots, but can we guess, like, a rough size or, like, a boot tread?
No,
Style?
there actually isn't a tread. It might have been just like a couple of pieces of dirt from underneath
Yeah.
that were dislodged.
Okay.
So it's not a footprint, if that makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
But he says, yes, I noticed the mud too. It baffles me. Someone must have known the bones were here. They were in this spot. Even if, like I said, my sister or someone. Nobody knows where in the church they're hidden. They could have torn up the floorboards all over the place.
What if I smell the caked mud?
Sure,
Would
you
there
want to
be
smell?
any-
Yeah.
Yeah, any residual scents?
Give me a perception check.
Sure.
Mm.
All right. Yeah, good old 20 on that.
You know, you don't smell any like unusual scent. Like there's no like I think you might be looking for maybe like animals. I know like a wolf smell or something like that would be something you might be searching for. You don't. But as you're inspecting the mud and you put your like face closer to the ground, you feel the ground. You notice something. One long, blonde, curly hair.
Okay. All right. I will pick up the hair and put it in a little pouch. Tuck it away for myself. And then I also want, first, I guess I have a bunch of pouches. I'll take another little pouch and take a little sample of the caked mud. Keep that as well.
Creepy. Got it. Like it.
Clues.
Interesting.
If there's nothing else down there, Laurent's gonna start exiting the crypt area.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, there
Father
are some statuettes, some little reliquaries of the church here, the Morning Lord God, but none of those seem out of ordinary. I mean, they would have been interred with the bones. You know, it's not unusual for those things to be there. It
Yeah.
doesn't appear like anything else is missing. The father, Lucian, will tell you that everything else that's down there has always been down there and will always be down there. I'm looking at the chat right now. This is a CSI Curse of Strahd edition.
Yeah.
Right,
I just typed in the chat. I like that.
That's good.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Blank. Yeah, so there's clear. It's clear somebody was down here. You found the caked mud. You found the curly blonde hair, and clearly a tool was used. Some sort of metal tool, crowbar, could possibly be something that was used to pry up the floorboards. So when you get back up, Father Lucian says, any kind of like in classic Scooby-Doo mode, will say, so the person had to have known where exactly they were, and he kind of goes over all the
All the relevant details.
all the relevant details. They must have known exactly where to look, the floorboards to pry up, had some method of getting into the locked door, and taking the bones without me knowing.
Oh, and one more thing, Father. Before we go and visit the Baron and your sister, just so we recognize her, perhaps you could tell us what hair color she has.
My sister?
Yes.
You would think she would do this?
No, just so we recognize her when we find her in the castle.
No, she certainly does not have
And,
blonde
I mean-
hair.
Oh, okay. Did he see the did he see the hair too?
Oh, that's a great question, actually.
I thought Dione kind of tucked
That's
it
a good-
away and
Yeah, I
kept it
thought-
to herself.
I
I
was
don't
trying
even
to
know
be
if we
sneaky
know
about
about the
it.
hair right now.
I saw her take it.
Okay.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Fair enough. So let me just make sure I understand what happened.
So this guy doesn't get suspicious. I'm like, and perhaps an eye color as well.
Let me
And
just
the
make
shoe
sure.
size?
She's very pretty.
Hold on a
does
second.
she ever wear boots?
In fact, she's a mud wrestler. Let me just make sure I understand. So it seems like Laurent, Rufus, and Dione went down, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so Canas, Irina, and Yune stayed up with the father, Lucian. And
Yeah,
so
sure.
then, Dione, did you reveal or show to Rufus and Laurent the blonde hair?
I did not intend to, but perhaps Rufus saw me doing it as I was tucking it away.
I
I'm
thought-
oblivious.
I would like to think that I did.
I think so. I'd like to think that you did too.
Yeah, we were all like cramped together, so it would be hard to miss, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, if you like
That's
turn, you bump into each other. So
It's a
Mhm.
tiny space, and if she
Mhm.
found something, would have immediately gone, "Oh, what's that?"
yeah, okay. So then, how about this? The three of you, or Laurent can choose to abstain from this knowledge, but the two of you at least know the hair and mud detail. Although I guess Father Lucian knew about the mud, but you know about the hair, and when you say that, he wouldn't have been aware of it. He says
Right.
her hair. She has dark hair, like most Barovians.
And this I was wondering also about this pickpocket last night. That was a blonde-haired girl. Do you know any blonde-haired girls around here? I guess there are many. But in Barovia, I see most women are dark of hair.
The streets. I mean, it's not completely uncommon for people to have a variety of hair colors. Strange. Is there a reason why you're asking about hair color?
Oh,
Is-
look at Dione.
Yes. The person who stole the bag of this lovely lady, and I point at Irina. The person who stole the bag, she had long blonde hair. And I believe perhaps this person may be of interest in this case.
I don't know of such a pickpocket, though I'm not someone who often will be out in the streets at night. Perhaps you may bring it up with Izek or the guards.
Yes, our very helpful friends. Okay, thank you.
Do you believe that that girl has stolen the bones of Saint Andral?
I cannot say for sure, but it is possible, I think.
Father Lucian, is there anything you could tell us about Saint Andral before we leave? It seems that Saint Andral was a very important person if his bones are able to keep out the devil Strahd.
Saint Andral, yes. You ask about it, and Father Lucian will tell you that before Strahd became the ruler of this land, there were this land was ruled by patrons of the Morning Lord, and there were many families, even the Vallaki family, who have run Vallaki for all of its creation. They are an older family even than the Zareviches. In fact, the Baron Vallaki would probably agree that he should be the rightful ruler of Barovia. Saint Andral was a patron saint of the Morning Lord many, many centuries before.
But you're not a noble.
I am not.
Your sister is not.
And
Yet
she is now.
married the Baron. That's a curious thing.
The Baron desperately wanted to marry my sister.
Hmm.
Love truly is in the eye of the beholder, is it not?
Well, I guess you are the cleric. That gives you some status.
I suppose it does. And I take my state here, my position, very seriously. I do feel like, sometimes, the only thing preventing the evil from outside those gates is this church.
Hmm.
And I don't just mean Strahd. This is the beacon of hope in all of Barovia. We need to get those bones back.
Are you aware of a church in the village of Barovia?
Yes, Father Donovich, a good friend of mine. We haven't seen each other in a few years, but from time to time I like to visit my old friend. How is he doing?
Fine.
Well, he's not
But,
fine, is he, Canas? He died. I'm sorry, he
What?
died.
I thought he was fine, you said.
No,
Now
he
he's
was-
fine with the Morning Lord now.
He is fine, in that he died a good death.
Well, at least he has his son to...
Rufus?
At least he has his
he was-
son to carry on his name.
Well,
His son is also
Son.
with the sun being the Morning Lord.
He'll do a spit take of his morning tea. What? No, he doesn't do that.
don't ask. Don't ask more of his son, please. However, the reason I brought this up was not so that Rufus could tell you of
I tell the
his
truth.
son's death.
He
That's
always
what is
loved
true.
sunbathing before
I-
the... No,
They do
There's
not
no
need
sun.
sugarcoating in this place.
I would just like to ask, was there a patron saint of that church as well?
I don't believe so. This is Bob talking. I don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
Hmm.
You're interrupted though. Maybe you're discussing all of the details now over morning porridge.
We're interrupted because Bob's
finally got
like,
some
time
food."
for something else to happen.
No. Something else happens. So you're in the church and he pours each of you porridge, right? You're discussing the details of the lost bones, right? And the doors will open. You might be thinking maybe some early parishioners coming for a morning service. No, it is one of the young men you saw yesterday. There were two men. There were two young kids. The boy's name is Milij. I'm going to give you a picture of Milij now. I guess we should move over to our Roll20 screen here.
Oh, yes.
So Milij walks in.
He was told to head out.
Him
He
and
had
there
brown
was
hair.
another. Yeah, there was another. Yeah, he has brown or like dark hair. And there was another kid who had lighter hair, blondish brown hair. Blonde hair.
They're like essentially like altar boys, right? Was my understanding at least.
Yeah, they're definitely not called altar boys, but they are.
Yeah.
They're like servants of the church.
Okay.
All right. I just want to make sure I always like to just double check when I give it artwork here. So I'm just gonna make sure I can find it. Yep, perfect. That's good. Here you go. There's Milij. Milij comes in and he's, like I said, I don't know, 16, 17 years old, something like that, coming of age. And he enters in and he says, "Good morning, Father. Good morning to our guests as well." And Father Lucian says, "Good morning, Milij. We have a few chores to take care of today. Namely, this chapel needs to be clean." He understood. And he'll start to get to work to doing some things. It looks like he's fixing one of the pews. He seems to be like a little bit of a handy type. And he says, "Milij here is a good man. Good boy. He's been helping the church out for many years. Him and Yeska." And he says, "Have you seen Yeska? He should have been here too." And Milij says, I haven't seen him today, Father. I mean, last night was the last I saw him. I'm sure he'll be here soon."
Milij, you haven't by any chance, or you wouldn't know by any chance, any blondes, would you?
About your age, a bit younger.
Kind of laughs. Yeska, he says.
Females, we mean.
Why?
We had one of them stole some of our things. Map. It's on the street.
Says, no, I can't say that I do. I don't consort with any of those pickpockets or thieves.
May I see if he's telling the truth?
You can make an insight check.
Thank you.
Ugh.
What is it?
Oh, he's 100% telling the truth, as far as I know.
Well, you know, combined with the fact that the priest considers him to be like, you know, altar boy level.
Yeah.
He might be a Boy Scout type telling the truth.
What was the other person's name? Yaska?
Yeska.
Yeska.
It's spelled
yes.
exactly how you think it would be.
Yeska.
Don't forget the silent Q.
Of course, Barovia. Silent Q.
Perfect.
Yeska. Yeska's I think it's 2 years younger than Milij. So Milij is like 16 or 17. He's probably like, you know, 14 or so. The two of them were in here yesterday, and the two of them do, you know, tasks around the church. And Milij starts getting to his. It's just after sunup now. You've all finished your breakfast, and if you'd like to leave or do anything, you may.
Father Lucian hasn't told any, to our knowledge, hasn't said anything to anyone else about the bones, right? They're like, they don't even know. They're not even aware of them.
You to your knowledge, no, he hasn't told a soul.
Okay.
Any other questions for Father Lucian or anybody?
No, I'm ready to go.
Michelle, were you going to say
I
something?
guess, yeah. To Milij, Dione will say, Milij, it is not for this case or any pickpocket, whatever. I just want to make more friends who have beautiful hair like your friend Yaska. Do you know anybody else in town who has such beautiful golden hair?
I don't know. He says there is that strange man who's here from out of town. The carnival leader. Yeah. I don't know what color hair he is, but he wears very bright clothes.
Has he been in the church?
Not to my knowledge. He looks over to the priest. Father Lucy says, I'm not sure who he's talking about. We have a new guest in town? Milij says, yeah, I think I saw him down by the Blue Water Inn.
I think we mentioned him last week because the wagons were not Vistani wagons, but separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wagon in the stockyard, Milij says. He's a strange man. I don't know who he is or where he's from, but certainly doesn't look like he's from around here.
You
Is
said
there a
something
party
about
at
a
them?
carnival?
Hold on, a couple
He's
things were said. Tim, did you finish what you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying they had wagons and he seemed like he was wearing bright clothing, but as far as we knew, he was not a Vistani.
You only saw the wagon.
Okay.
I don't think you saw a person.
No.
Right.
Wagon's definitely not Vistani. He could still be Vistani, correct?
That's correct. Yes, the wagon
Okay.
didn't look like a Vistani wagon. Yep. And then, Andrew, what'd you say?
I was asking him if it was just the one guy or if there were a party of these people.
I think it's just one performer. Strange, I know.
And you referred to him as a carnival leader.
His wagon looks like it.
How long has he been in town?
Just a few days, it seems. Perhaps a little longer, but
Less days than us, and yet you don't seem suspicious of us.
well, you're not dressed like he is.
Fair.
He says, although you don't have much style. And he does
Well.
a typical teenager, like, you're old.
I mean, when you were talking about an old man, I thought you were referring to me.
Yeah, but it's worse. He's worse. Your clothes just look like they're out of style.
Okay, thank you, Milij. Thank you for your time. Okay. And Dione will turn away and start walking.
Yeah, I'm sorry if Dua Lipa isn't enough of a current artist for you, Milij.
I'm a Swiftie.
Milij, you and I could compare albums.
Well, my hide armor definitely isn't of this century, so I can't really say anything.
Actually, isn't it though? It is.
You bought it here.
You bought
I
it here
brought it
in
here, but it
Barovia.
was old-fashioned even then.
That's
It was
true. Yeah,
musty
that's true.
smelling.
That's
I am
true.
the most unfashionable I've ever looked.
Yeah, you probably don't like
If
that
only-
either.
No,
If
I don't
only
like
your
that comment. It
parents-
makes me feel self-conscious.
If only your parents could mail you your gear from
Yeah, right.
Gwaindire.
And wash my clothes for me.
I'm sure you had servants who did that.
Well, precisely.
Well, Milij is not going to do your laundry, that's for sure. So as you leave the church, you get your stuff, and Irina suggests to come along. She doesn't want to leave, but she'll have to hold on to Micah. The kids are going to stay here with Milij and Lucian.
How is little Micah doing?
Yeah.
He's at least
He's-
3 by now.
He's almost got a full set of teeth. Yeah, he's like babbling. He says a lot of words now at this point. He says like "mama,"
How
"dada,"
lovely.
and he refers to Rufus and Irina.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you think he
Great.
still has the consciousness and sentience of a whatever age he was? Because this would be like a really traumatic thing for him, surely.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One that we'll have to explore deeper.
Later, just at some
Just
point in the
Just
closing
not
episode, I want to come back to this idea.
not right now, but yes. She'll hold on to him and head out with you all.
So, shall we head to the Blue Water Inn first, or maybe meet the Baron?
Or we could meet that carnival man. These traveling people can often be thieves, in my experience.
I wouldn't mind trying to get a little more information at this Blue Water Inn. Perhaps try
Well-
to secure some lodgings as well.
We should find a place to put our things.
And the Carnival
I
Man
laugh.
was near the Blue Water Inn, so that would be we could kill 2 birds with one stone.
Yes.
Mhm.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it then. You exit the church, and as you do leave, you hear Milij talk to the priest just as the door is closing. He says, "Who are they again, Father?" And the door closes. It's as bright as you've ever seen it. Again, still no sun in the sky, but you could tell that if there wasn't so overcast, it would be a pretty sunny day. Finally, you have like a nice dry spell here. There hasn't been rain in like 24 hours. You feel like you're fully, dried out, and you hit the streets. I'm going to bring up our map again, and we'll point out some of the things I wrote here. So, just so you know, I did take away your scribbles and put some text here. It is still a little hard to see. I assume that our viewers can't read the notes, but I put the Burgomaster here. That was the Burgomaster's mansion. St. Andrew's is where you are right now with the party token. The Sunset Gate is the gate on the west end of the village. To the right, you have the Morning Gate where you entered, near the stockyard. And then towards the north, you have the Zarovich Gate, or as some people just refer to it as, the Gate to the Lake. And then Lake Zarovich would be off the map, Not far though, not a long trip. You actually saw the shores of Lake Zarovich from the road, so it's not far. It wouldn't be more than a 15 or 20 minute hike. And then you have the Blue Water Inn right at the center of town. So, is that where you're headed? I think that was the consensus.
Yeah.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
we go, I'm gonna look around for any blonde pickpockets.
Yeah, it's early, and like I said, totally visible. So you don't see any of those pickpockets running around. It seems to be like a nighttime occurrence, or at least when there's more coverage. But as you walk through, you can see, you do see, as you get towards the center of that area where there's that green, the village green, and where the postings were, you see there's a new post already up. The Wolf's Head Jamboree posters have been taken down, and a new one takes its place.
We read what it says.
Sure, I assumed you would.
Yeah.
Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendance and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well in capital letters. Signed, the Baron. And there's people in the streets. Some others are gathering and looking at the page with you. You can see there's like a man here who looks like he's carrying a bundle of grain or something like that through the streets in a wheelbarrow. And he stops and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, on the Feast of St. Andrew's Day. Unbelievable."
I look
Is
at
this a-
him. I say, "All will be well."
He realizes like he said that out loud, and he like catches him. He's like, "Oh, I meant, joy, 2 celebrations in one day." And he kind of averts your eyes and your gaze, and he looks like he's trying to head out quickly.
Is there any more information about this Festival of the Blazing Sun?
That's it. That's literally all it says there.
And what's
Yeah.
the date?
6 days from now, or
Same as St. Andrew's.
yeah, 6 days from now. The same day as 5 days actually, technically, right? Because you slept a night,
Yeah.
so it's 5 days from today.
Well, it's kind of weird. I thought his sister was supposed to be all into St. Andrew's Day.
It does say the Baron though, not the
Right.
Baroness.
I'll say that too. It was kind of curious that the Baron would organise that when his wife is so into St. Andrew's Day.
It does.
I'm
Does
more
seem
intrigued
interesting.
by the fact that children are required.
Yes, we
Because the last time we were somewhere where children are required,
it was unpleasant.
it was unpleasant.
Hmm.
Delicious,
And
unpleasant.
I feel that the Wolf's Head Festival had similar wording.
It did. I
asking
can
for
I can read
Yeah.
it again. You
Sure.
already saw it. It says, "Come one, come all, the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendance and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well."
All will be well.
All
Yeah.
will be well.
attendance and children required.
I guess they want everyone there.
You gotta love the humor though, because it's like pikes will be provided, and you realize that they're all on the heads. The heads are all on the
Mhm.
pikes, and then this one, there hasn't been sun at all in Barovia, and it says rain or shine.
Oh, that's what it is.
Thanks, Wizards of the Coast.
I did notice that it wouldn't be shine, but never
Right.
mind.
Right. Well, rain or shine. One or the other.
I just, the Wolf's Head with the pikes seems a little more clear than whatever the Festival of the Blazing Sun whatever will happen at that festival. Perhaps they'll burn someone.
Well, let's go to the inn.
All right, to the inn. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing one thing here. No, that's it. Okay. The Blue Water Inn. I told you the Blue Water Inn's description before, but I'll just recap very quickly. It's a pretty big building. It's got 2 stories. It's got a stone foundation. You can see it goes up to about halfway on the first level, and it looks as though it's got a large, what's the word for this? Roof that's... What's this? What's the word for that? Oh, I'm skipping. Oh, I hate vocabulary.
thatched
Roof. Facade.
Peopled?
Yes, steepled
Oh.
roof. Yes, thank you, Michelle. A steepled roof.
Gabled, is that? No.
Maybe gabled. I don't know. Either way, it's
Half
got a
timber.
big old roof, and several ravens are perched upon it.
Oy.
A painted wooden sign hangs above the main entrance depicting a blue waterfall. It's early in the morning now. You'd say it's like sometime just after sunup. You know, you've only been, I guess after, it took you maybe like 10 minutes to walk here, so not that far. You enter and you see the Blue Water Inn is pretty popular, although it's early in the morning, so most people here are just eating breakfast, and there are a few patrons. I'm actually going to switch over to a new map, so let's do that. Let's see. Here we go. Do you see your characters?
No.
I
Oh, yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Okay, move your characters as you would like.
Oh, I can't get in.
Yeah, there's a door here. I can open it for you.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You enter into the Blue Water Inn, and you can see they have a pretty large tap room here. Nice little tavern. You can see that there are some commoners in here, and people are enjoying their breakfast. There is a bar, which behind it sits large barrels. Looks like there is some sort of ale or perhaps wine being served from it. You can see that there is I guess people here are eating probably something like porridge or oatmeal, and there's actually two people though that you can tell are eating a bit more fancy. There are two men in here. They look as though they are maybe not adventurers at least, but they are capable frontiersmen or woodsmen. That you can tell by their gear that they carry, by the look of them that they are rugged individuals. I'll give you some descriptions in a second. But you can smell that their food, it's a little bit more fancy. You can smell they have some sort of meat, a steak perhaps, on their plate. And then you have a barkeep, a woman who stands right here. Let me bring up some tokens, and then I'll let you all ask some questions. But where do you want to go, and what do you want to do as you are here?
Well, I want to go and ask the barkeep for lodging.
Sure.
And
about
I
you?
will go with Rufus and ask for a drink because we've had our breakfast, but it's never too early.
Yeah, I want some wine as well.
Gotcha.
I will also approach the bar. I will ask for steak, like what those guys over there are having.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just want to eat.
Second
Let me-
breakfast.
Let me bring up the tokens here for all these people here. It is a blessing and a curse, Roll20, I tell you that. It is a blessing and a curse. Because sometimes it's very hard to do that. Rufus, move your token back a little bit. There's a person standing there. Okay. There you go.
You just trampled that dude.
Yeah, you trampled him, and so did Tim, actually. Tim did too.
Oh, God.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
Anyone
Oh,
I'll
here?
back
Yeah.
up quickly
Nope.
and say, sorry, I didn't even see you there.
That's okay.
Are those the two men you were referring to?
Yes, and I will give you some descriptions of them in a second. Go ahead, Michelle.
What?
Were you going to say something? Sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no. Can I have steak? That's all.
Here's one of the men.
Hmm.
You could tell by his, like I said, his furs that he wears and his rugged nature that he knows how to survive, clearly. And then you see the man sitting next to him looks, I would say, even scarier. So he's got a bald head and a big beard, and he carries a quiver on his back. There you go.
Whoa.
So these two men are sitting there, and they seem to stand out as the patrons of this establishment. They are, like I said, sitting there eating steak, and the rest of the patrons are eating porridge or oatmeal or something very bland. But you come up to the bar and you say, I want a steak. And so the woman looks at you. In fact, she stares at you pretty hard, Michelle. She says, a steak, you say?
Yes. Just like this. And I'm like right next to them. So just like this. One
And
steak, please.
And I imagine since Dione's so small, your legs dangle off the stool.
Yes. Yeah. And the counter is probably like up to here on me. So.
Yeah, yeah. The hunters will look to you. They glance at you briefly, and they nod when you say that you want a steak. They're like, yeah. Good choice, one of them will say.
Oh yes, meat is number one.
That's
Always
right.
meat first.
So the woman says, a steak, she says to you.
Yes, please. Canas, you want a steak? We can get more.
Sure. I mean, if this fine woman can get over the fact that we're asking for it.
Okay, perhaps 2 steaks, please. I will
She
take
look-
mine medium rare.
She's staring at you, Michelle, and she's like, sure.
Is something wrong?
No,
Ma'am?
she shakes her head and she looks at you, Canas, and she says, 2 steaks. They're a gold piece each. And she just like walks away and goes into the back here. There's a door to the north of the bar.
I'll turn to the 2 men and say, is she all right?
The bald-headed man is sitting, I guess, closest to Dione, so he'll say, "Huh? What? You say something over there?"
Yeah. Is that woman, the barkeep, is she all right?
I want to interrupt. It's probably our friend Laurent. Did you not see her? Look at him. I don't think he's Vistani.
He doesn't know who Laurent is, so he looks around the bar and... Who? Who are you talking about here?
Well, one of our fellows here. Look, Laurent. I'll gesture to Laurent. What does he look like to you?
You
Strangers.
Vistani? He's a Vistani, is he not?
Nah,
It seems that way.
there you go. Everywhere we go and every bar we go in this place, it's like Laurent causes a stir.
I don't care about the Vistani. They're fine in my book.
Was she staring at Laurent?
Oh,
Did I miss
Danica? Danica?
Danica Patrick, yes.
No, the owner of this place. Danica, the woman you were just talking to.
Yes, who seemed to be very troubled when we asked for the same meal that you have ordered.
Well, he says, to be honest, you don't look like you could afford it.
Oh, well. I can
mean-
afford at least one.
So you can all afford steak, he says. Where you from?
Out of town.
I am
Where?
Rufus from Gwaindire.
Oh, goodness.
Rufus from Gwaindire.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know where that is, but we're going to be good friends. You're from out of town.
Yes, we're out of towners. We were led here by the Vistani. And our friend
Zol-
is not a Vistani.
Zoldar, and he puts out his greasy, like, steak grease-filled hand towards you.
I'll shake it very vigorously.
Zoldar Zoldarovich.
I turn
your
to Dione
service.
and I say, did somebody cast Zone of Truth on this man?
It's a little weird. Wow, he is sharing so much.
Zoldar Zoldarovich, at your service. And he says, and this one over here, he says, he turns to his friend. This is Evgeny Krushkin. And Evgeny looks at you all. He'll nod. You can see his he's got that like ratty hair. It kind of covers his face. He always looks like he's constantly wet. That's kind of like what it looks like. And he says to you all, he goes, you looking for a guide, my friends?
I want to shake his hand.
He'll shake your hand if you present it, yeah.
Yeah, I present it.
We don't need a guide at the moment, but it seems that we may need one when we want to check out the village of Kresk.
Looking to go to Kresk, eh? Zoldar chimes in. We could take you there. We'll get you there in less than a day. You won't even see nightfall.
You men seem very well traveled.
Of course we are. We're huntsmen.
Is there a mountain around here?
Mount
guarded by
Baratak.
amber giants?
Ah, Mount Baratak. That's what you're looking for.
What are these amber giants we've heard of?
Amber giants.
Mm-hmm.
That I am not aware of.
Or a castle? Is there a castle in Mount Baratok?
No castle, Yevgeny chimes in.
Hmm.
Unless you mean Ravenloft, and we ain't taking you there.
No, we don't want to go there.
No, I don't think anyone wants to go there.
Heavens,
Uh,
no.
What about a dead village? Have you heard any rumors of a dead village?
Yeah, the village of Barovia, am I right? And Irina just like looks down at the floor.
Hmm.
Ugh.
You don't want to go to the village, do you?
Certainly not.
No. And we wouldn't take you there anyway.
We've
It's
been
too
there.
far. And you couldn't afford our prices for that range.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Are you all from here? From Vallaki? Or are you all travelers as well?
Oh, we're from Vallaki, that's right. But we've traveled all over these lands. You want to go somewhere? You can pay us. We'll guide you there. You charge a lot more for a night travel, though. You want to go out of here at night? It's going to be triple the price.
And what is your price?
They do have a price, actually.
Hmm.
They do. You think they wouldn't have a price? They'd have a price, Michelle. Come on now. 5 gold per day. 5 gold per day. We make sure we get you to the important landmarks. And, of course, at the end of the day, you give us a free drink.
As a tip, perhaps.
And I absolutely was joking about my night price. It's not 3 times the amount. Of course not.
It's 4 times the
It's
amount.
100 gold pieces.
Ah, there it is.
Wow.
Is that just for leaving at night or for being out overnight?
We end up staying out overnight, Evgeny says, and it's 100 gold pieces.
I see. I suppose that's why you would be certain to get us to Kresk within a single day.
We'll get you there one day. No problems. We've done it many times.
Andrew, what was the name of the Mount something?
Bartok?
Mount
Bartok.
Baratok is close to here.
Bartok.
Mount Baratok is close to here, just beyond Lake Zarovich.
And what's there
Nothing.
that's worth seeing?
Nothing, I would say. Woods, perhaps.
Oh, we've seen enough woods.
Though there are rumors, right? What did they all say? And Yevgeny says, there's some crazy lunatic out in the woods. We don't know any truth to this, but some people say, some other hunters say, there's somebody out there causing a panic.
Interesting.
Could you just briefly entertain us with the tales of these other hunters? I'll buy you around if you do.
Scouts, Evgeny says. Look at the chat. Ski lifts are open. Mount Baratok,
Yeah, do
also
they have
known
snow
as
tubing?
Mount Snow. He says, no, there's nothing out there. It's just woods and a mountain.
So you say.
I say, I've been there. Yevgeny looks like he's very, very confident that this is all just nonsense. Your steak comes. The door opens to the kitchen. You can hear the smell of cooking grease and the sounds of the kitchen pans and stuff like that. And Danica will walk slowly to the bar. Who ordered a steak?
Canas
Yeah.
and Dione.
Canas and Dione. She'll place the 2 plates down. Canas is first. And then she'll put it down for you, Michelle. And then she'll turn around and walk beyond the door again.
Oh, wait. Woman. Danica.
Woman.
Yikes.
Even
You!
Zoldar is like,
Danica.
yes,
We also require lodging. We may stay a few days in this town.
I don't know that we have any rooms left.
You were
she
in.
says.
You have no rooms. Who was staying in this inn?
We're all
Oh,
full, she says.
Are you sure? We're not traveling with him, so if that changes anything, I point to Laurent.
Laurent is like, if I'm not mistaken, by the map, Laurent, you're kind of like far away from the bar, right? You're at the table?
I'm kind of having
Yeah.
my own time playing cards.
Okay. Playing
I've got
solitaire?
a hefty game of solitaire going.
Is
We can-
Yune an imp right now? No.
I
Unit.
certainly hope not.
I forgot to say I would have preferred if
Invisible?
Unit was invisible right now.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to take Yune off the map.
Okay,
We can put her back if we need to.
that's fine.
And then Irina is actually with you all. I forgot to move her token, but she's there too, and she'll be standing next to you, Canas. She says, I'm sorry, we're full. And she'll go back into the kitchen and close the door.
But we can buy steak every day. Every day.
Canas, Dione, you have a hot, sizzling steak and eggs in front of you.
Great. I wolf it down.
Very good.
Yes.
You kn-
Like
Dione?
there's just like egg yolk just like dripping all over my beard. It's not a pretty sight.
I wanna give my food just one long, deep sniff, just like
It smells delicious.
Does it smell like the dirt that she smelled earlier?
Certainly,
Someone
It's
ate
blue.
eggs in this too.
or perhaps the hair.
certainly not. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah, I just give it a long whiff and then I dig in and I ravenously devour the
It
whole
smells
thing.
good. Yeah, it smells really good, and it tastes a bit more gamey than maybe beef you've had in the past. But
Oh,
yeah,
crap.
still good.
Everything's human meat in this place.
Canas, I think we just say some people. Oh, well,
Yeah,
whatever.
human meat's not gamey.
Oh,
Tell
That
us
was
more.
speak from
That was a
experience.
definitive comment.
Tell us more.
Go on.
I assume you did some research.
I just can't imagine it would be gamey. We don't live in the wild. Probably
Yeah.
too much fat in it.
Yeah, probably much more tender.
I heard
he-
people are a lot like pork. Sorry, continue. We can move on from this topic.
Hey, you know what? A short rib is a short rib. All right, it is what it is. Evgeny and Zoldar look at you, scarf down that food, and Dione, you're eating it too and enjoying it. And Zoldar looks over to you and goes, "You see those steaks? They're pretty good, are they not?"
Delicious.
Zoldar like
They were.
elbows Dione. He's like, "We caught those steaks."
Wow.
Oh.
Yep,
That is amazing. What manner of creature was this?
they're wolf steaks.
Delicious.
Yes, delicious. We provide the Blue Water Inn with all of their wolf steaks. We always have.
Excuse me just one moment, please.
Sure.
And I will go out the door and just like find the nearest shrubbery and just
Yeah.
start like retching.
Yeah, while you're retching, he talks to, I guess, Canas, you're next, and he goes, "We set traps up all over the lands."
Ah. Yes. Yes, you do.
Yes, and when we catch them fresh, we bring them here to the Blue Water Inn.
And so I suppose your steaks are free.
Of course, as are most of our drinks, he says. You know, we are big men here. We need lots of food.
Well, you seem to provide a very important service around here in Vallaki.
And Evgeny says, if it's service you want, we are the people.
Mm.
Other hunters. No. They will not get you places safe.
Perhaps the Baron should have hired you as his personal guard.
No, I mean, we're not warriors, but we can fight.
Oh, certainly. I can just tell by looking at you.
And we've caught most of the wolf heads that you saw coming in.
It's a
What about
practical-
this Blazing Sun Festival. Do
Oh,
you know
yes,
anything about that?
I hear they're going to have some great pyre or something like that.
Hmm. And,
But I
they-
don't. I go because it's mandatory to the celebrations, but I look on and then move on.
Yes, of course.
Any of the other patrons like notice him with this kind of like flippant treatment of the festival, and like react in any way?
No, like I said, there's a table filled of commoners that seem to be just eating their porridge, and they move on. They're not even looking at you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
They're not
I
paying
ask
attention.
Zolder, where do you stay around here then? You stay at this inn?
From time to time, but no, we don't need it. We have our own homes here.
Would you have any lodgings we could rent?
Our wives would not let us rent out our houses. And he looks to Yevgeny, and he's like, no, our wives they are mad at us on a daily basis. Well, you know, hunting is sometimes you're out for many hours and you don't come back till late, and then you need to have some drinks at the bar, and then it's a late night.
They must be very worried for your safety.
I think one day my wife would like it if I were dead.
Oh. Well,
But I tell her the same.
that's love, huh? It's a motherfucker.
He says, yes, it is. Are you looking to go to Kresk? We could take you there today. It's still early enough in the morning.
Not today, but
Are you
It is,
finishing your wolf steak? Zoldar says.
did I not finish it?
No, Dione. Dione did not finish it.
Oh, Dione didn't finish it. Yeah.
You're not
I
going to
think-
finish. I'll have it if you don't want it. I wouldn't want it to go waste.
Well, I could finish that.
Oh yeah.
But you can have
Rufus,
it.
dig in. Everyone's got to eat.
You look a
need a
little
wolf.
sick in the face, girl.
Oh, yeah, I guess I've come back. I'm like wiping my mouth. I'm like, no, it is okay. It was delicious. Thank you. I'm just gonna go and sit over
With
maybe
Laurent.
across from Laurent and just kind of like sit at the table with a 1,000-yard stare.
She has a fondness for these wolves, strangely. I'll tell them.
Is anyone gonna finish that?
Rufus.
I'll finish it.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to eat.
Let's
Here you
share
go.
it.
Here you go, Rufus. Enjoy. I had one to myself.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
Irina will order a oatmeal. And Laurent, do you want any food?
watch her figure.
We had we had porridge this morning. All of a pint, but I don't think I need any more food.
Gotcha. Oh, actually, you're right. You're right. Irina won't order food because she ate with you all. So no.
Yeah, we ate with Father Lucian this morning.
Though he didn't have steak, wolf steak.
That's all right. Laurent is a practicing vegetarian.
Interesting.
Didn't you have meat pies?
I am a somewhat practicing vegetarian.
Was yours like a fruit pie or was it meat?
It's
No, you had fruit. I think you had fruit, right?
I mean,
I think he's the only one that insisted that he had meat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe
my
we did have
first one
meat.
I got was a fruit pie, and then we got to the windmill, and I was like,
think
boy, that was so good, I'll have a meat pie.
Gotcha. As you're having this conversation about foods
pies
and
and fruit
pies,
pies.
a man walks out. He's got an awesome beard. It's like almost like it kind of reminds you almost like a skunk's pattern, right? It's got like streaks of gray through his long, thick beard.
You sure it's not me?
When you say out, do you mean like out from behind the bar, or like out like
Yeah.
into the bar?
He comes from behind the kitchen. He's wearing
Got
like an apron. He looks like he's maybe the chef, the one who's been making the food. And he comes out and he stands at the door and he looks over towards the rest of you and he eyes you all up and down. He says, "Are you there? The new gang. Where are you from?"
Well, I'm Rufus from Gwaindire. We're all new here. in the land of Barovia?
Can't say I know Gwaindire, he says with a bit of an attitude.
It's a lovely land. We have much finer wheat than in Barovia because you have so much sun. They call it the Golden Valley. If only you could visit it.
Yeah. They have
I don't
the
know,
Festival of the Blazing Sun every day.
I don't know what
Well,
you're talking
no.
about. I don't know where Gwaindire is, but I think it's time you all get out of here.
Why?
Yeah, why is that?
Well, you've had your food. And I heard my wife say that we're full. And
Yes.
Zoldar says, "Oh, come on, Erwin. We're trying to make a sale here." And he goes, "No," he's like, they don't need your services. In fact, you wouldn't want to help them.
What is it? Is it the one that looks Vistani is not Vistani?
He just says, "Like I said, I'd like you to leave."
They ask what we've done, Erwin.
We refuse the right to serve anybody. In that case, this case is you.
Laurent is going to start shuffling his cards back together into a single deck. I will stand up and nods towards. I have their names written down. The two, Yevgeny and Sildar, and say, I may be in touch. We may be in touch in the future about going to Kresk. But as for right now, I can see that obviously, and I'll raise my voice, Vistani are not wanted at the Blue Water Inn.
I don't
We'll
know if any
find
of us
you.
are wanted at the Blue Water Inn.
We'll find you if you need us.
I'd like Yune to kind of linger and see if she can hear anything from Erwin,
Sure.
or or perhaps Danica if she comes back out.
Yeah, Dione will walk up to the bar, slide a gold piece onto the counter, say, "Thank you for the steak," and then walk away weakly, clutching her belly, and then exit.
He'll take the money, but you put it's a gold coin you put down?
Yes.
Gotcha. He will walk up, push the gold coin a little further away towards you guys again, and he says, "We don't need your money."
Well then, I know what not to recommend to the people around here.
He goes, "Doesn't matter. Looks like we're running out of wine anyway." He looks over to the barrels, and he goes over and fills one and brings it over to a table. You can see it was just the last drops in that barrel. "The Blue Water Inn," he says, kind of in a sarcastic way. He says, "The greatest inn in Vallaki," almost like a joke to himself. And then he walks back into the bar, and you see the woman come out, and she'll watch you as you leave.
I'll give a sarcastic wave.
All right, the rest of the people go back to their food. You all exit, and you're back on the streets. Like I said, it's still morning, so it's early in the day. Is there any place you'd like to check out after this?
I would just like to say I've never been so maltreated.
Yeah, that was quite odd.
Hinged my honor.
It was awkward, no doubt, Irina says. "I'm not sure what we did. Perhaps there's a custom we're unaware of."
It seems that there's some sort of untrustworthiness that they hold. But I can't figure out why. All we did was sit and eat. We don't even know those people.
Irina says, I don't know. I've never been here before." She says, maybe it was that we have an infant in this little baby Bjorn, and she like points down to Micah. We brought a baby to a bar.
I'll give the gold coin back to Dione. I picked it up on the way out.
Gotcha. Dione, you'll get the coin back, and Irina says, he didn't seem to like you, Dione, or she didn't seem to like you.
I don't know why. Did I say anything strange? And I look around to the others like,
But you are a dwarf.
We didn't say anything, and she was acting strange.
You haven't seen any dwarves, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Is everyone a human
No,
Except for
No.
that
Dione.
we've encountered?
you're a half elf. Oh,
No, not us. In the village. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody's been human.
Okay.
I think we should go to the Baron.
The Baron, great idea.
Sick of dealing with these people.
Before we leave the Blue Water, didn't Miroslav mention that the carnival was like near the Blue Water, or was I?
The man, he's seen the man near the Blue Water Inn.
But
Yeah.
we have not seen this man in
No.
strange clothing yet. Okay.
No. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
To the Burgomaster.
To the Burgomaster's mansion? Okay. So, the Burgomaster's mansion is off the beaten path. It's not on that like main strip. So I'll take us back to the map in a second, but I think we're just on our face view right now.
Okay. If Yune doesn't hear anything from those two, Yune will return.
Yune was in the tap room.
I was kind of just trying to see if after we left, if Danica and Erwin said anything to each other about us.
Gotcha. No, Yune will go in and they continue on with their business, their cooking. They don't actually talk about the interaction at all. So she'll stick around for maybe how long? 5-10 minutes?
Not super long.
Oh, okay. So a couple minutes and then she'll so they don't speak about the interaction.
Uh-huh.
So as we're like walking away from the bar, once we're like a safe distance away, I want to, I guess, kind of lower my voice, and I lean into the others and I say,
Lean in.
I'm leaning in. Did you guys
Yes,
not-
Dione, what is it?
Did you notice anything strange about the barkeeps?
No, they were very rude.
I think we all noticed something strange about the barkeeps.
Oh, okay, that is fair.
Besides the fact that they were rude, was there something else?
I just I noticed perhaps there is more to them than we think.
What do you mean?
Did you notice the stench? Did you notice their smell?
No.
I was only able to smell that steak when it came out. What
Yes.
about that?
The steak, it smelled. They had the same smell coming from them. Same as the wolf steak.
Like they smelled like they'd been cooking wolf steaks, or they smelled like they themselves were made of wolf steaks.
I think perhaps one of the two. I think perhaps they may
Be
have something
cooking
to them.
themselves?
No, but perhaps there are more werewolves around here than we think. This is just what I think so far.
That's quite
Okay.
interesting, particularly because it hasn't been too long since the bones of Saint Andral were taken. Isn't that correct? A few days?
Correct.
And yet,
Scene.
these people are werewolves. Somehow they were able to get in
Yeah.
while the bones were still protecting the village.
Father Lucian only mentioned the bones protecting the village from vampires, not necessarily werewolves.
Ah, I see. Thank you, Laurent.
I mean, I could be wrong on that too.
Or Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Tim. Or thank you,
Laurent.
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 I appreciate it.
I think it's more odd that if Jenny and Soldar, being wolf hunters, wouldn't pick up on the werewolves under their noses, potentially.
Well, wolves, disgusting creatures. They ate their own feces.
They
They would
what?
eat each other, I'm sure.
Irina says, having experienced harrowing events from werewolves, I can tell you that when a werewolf is not in its wolf form, it is very difficult to spot.
Do you have much experience with werewolves?
Well, when you first met her, her house was assaulted by werewolves. Like, many of them attacked at night. The Baron had to lock it up. Her father.
Both
defended
Tim and
the house.
Laurent, would a werewolf in wolf form look dynamically different than a wolf, just a wolf, being a wolf?
She says, I mean, I am not an expert, she says, but I know that they have various shapes they can change to. They have one that makes them look like a typical human, another that they look almost like a hybrid between the two.
Well, if Dione is correct about Danica and Erwin being werewolves, it seems we've got someone on our team that could, shall we say, sniff them out.
Perhaps we can become friends with them. Have some wolf allies. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe that they didn't even want us in their establishment.
Could cut them and see if they bleed.
I
That's
like
true.
that idea.
Irina says, like the gate.
Yes.
But would that not be assault? And the rules
I
here
do-
are very clear. No
I was
fighting.
joking. I don't think these are werewolves.
Ah,
Dione, I would be maybe fine with making wolf allies, but werewolf allies, that's where I draw the line.
a wolf ally. How would you make a wolf an ally?
I don't know, but Dione wants to have a wolf ally.
I don't want wolf allies. Just letting you know that.
Yune, why not?
Well, they're scary.
They're scary, Yune. Look at you.
I once knew a girl. She wore a red hood. She was just visiting her grandmother. And, well, it was horrible. I'm not even going to go into it. Honestly, it's a harrowing tale. But let's just say there was a big bad wolf. And I've never liked wolves since then.
I understand. I think you're discussing two different wolves, but that's okay.
I
You-
also don't like wolves.
But there was the beautiful wolf in the woods. Remember? Canas, you healed him. We
did.
set him free. That was very nice.
Please
Wow.
don't mention that to Evgani and Zoldar.
We stole their catch. By rights, it was theirs.
I prefer liberated.
Well, anyway,
Yes.
I don't wish to talk about this subject.
I'm still interested in this stench that you picked up, Dione.
Dione, are you like a hunter of these creatures?
Not a hunter. Perhaps you can say a scholar. I like to study them. I want to know all there is to know about werewolves.
So do you know how to kill them then?
No. I try not to do that.
Irina says, I know silver is supposed to be the thing that kills them, but I can't imagine that just a cut would harm them enough.
Well, it's a good thing we have the silver dagger.
And Andrew, have you mentioned to anybody about the Burgomaster's sword, about its properties?
No, but I expected it and it wasn't silvered.
Right. No, you know it's not silver, but you know that it seemed to like
Cuts well, yeah.
bypass a lot of... Yeah, exactly.
I haven't said that.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough. And you actually
Maybe
don't
I'll ask
know...
Arena. I'll ask Arena about it in the future.
In the future, yeah, gotcha.
This
Alright.
conversation is.
Yeah, you don't want to
can
carry
tell
this
I'm
on.
very uncomfortable with this conversation.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
disgusting to me. Foul,
So
offensive.
Wow.
So the conversation will continue through the streets, but you get closer to the Burgomaster's mansion, and you'll stop this chat. The mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars, where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. You can see drapes covering every window on this place, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors, so nobody can see into the mansion from the outside. But it does look like, and I not using this figuratively, like they have an open door policy. The door is open.
Well, I'll just walk right in.
Sure.
Yeah.
You walk in and you hear, and actually some people are leaving as you enter, commoners it looks like. In fact, relatively poor looking commoners. And they have like loaves of bread in their hands and like a silver spoon and stuff like that. Like they're literally just like taking stuff in their arms that looks like it probably belonged to this house.
I'm gonna stop one of them. What are you doing? Why are you taking these things?
You stop an old woman who has like she's got like a nice marble rye in her hand.
Yeah,
And
someone
she-
that obviously doesn't belong to her.
It's mine. Leave me be.
No. Why are you taking these things?
It
Where's
was a
the Baron?
gift.
Where's the Baron?
I don't know. It was not a
Or
gift from
or
him.
Intimidator. Where's the Baron?
Go ahead.
Rufus.
Grab her.
Give me an intimidation check.
Oh my god!
Little old lady.
They're stealing from the nobility. I only got 7. I'm not very intimidating. I'm such a good guy.
The old hag with the marble rye. She smacks you with the marble rye. Actually, she smacks you right in the face with it, and she goes,
Spitfire.
"It was a gift from the Baroness."
Where is the Baroness?
In there,
Inside,
the
I would
dining
assume.
room. The dining room.
No, let her go.
You let her go, and a few more people leave, and they have some things with them, foodstuffs and other items.
Rufus, I didn't take you for someone who would assault an old woman.
They're thieving from the nobility.
Are they? You don't know. You just
Said it
got
was-
here. We just got here.
She
Well,
said it was
we
given to her
shall
by the
see.
Baroness. We have to find out more.
We shall see, Canas.
Rufus,
Let us find
were
out.
you going to cut her?
Of course I wasn't going to harm the woman.
Oh,
Okay.
you should cut her. Maybe
Just
we'll
a
find out
costume.
if she's a werewolf.
Rufus, a guard comes up, and you just let the woman go. A guard comes up. He's carrying a bundle of sticks and twigs and things like that. And he says to you, "Hey now, no malicious unhappiness."
All will be well.
All
that's
will
well.
be well.
What are these people doing? Why are you allowing them to take the things?
The guard is, it looks like he's like struggling with this large bundle in his hand. So he like kind of lifts up his leg to kind of reposition it. And you see there's maybe even 2 more guards following maybe 30 or 40 feet behind him. He's wearing what looks to be like some sort of medium armor covered by red clothing. And he says, "We're here for the Baroness. She has ordered the sticks for the festival."
Isn't it a little early to be setting up the festival?
"Tell me about it," he says. "All will be well." And he says,
Oh.
leave the old ladies alone, and we won't have
Yeah.
a problem."
Yeah, Rufus, leave the old ladies alone.
Well,
He pushes past you and enters in, and you can finally follow the guards in with their bundles, and they'll lead you in through a grand foyer. There's like a staircase leading up. There's halls down on the main floor, but to the immediate left, you come in and you see that there's actually a dining room. With the first hall room. Sorry, it's actually not the first room. I apologize. It's the first room on the left in the long hallway. There is like some sort of a room. It's closed on the left-hand side when you first walk in. But other than that, there's a pretty big staircase that goes up to the second floor. And like I said, a long hall center down the mansion. And what he'll do is he'll lead you into this dining room where you can see there's a whole slew of commoners. And it is, in a way, there's humor to this. You can hear the laughter of these commoners. It looks like the baroness, who you can tell clearly she's the baroness. She does have a resemblance to Father Lucian in terms of facial structure, but that's about it. She has long dark hair with some streaks of gray in between. She's wearing a beautiful red gown, and she says the end of some witty joke about their dogs. She says something about their dogs, and she says, and their slobber was everywhere, the jowls, and it was, trust me, it was embarrassing. And all the people at the table are laughing, and it's forced laughter. Bunch of commoners. In fact, a lot of these people look very poor, but there's food out. There's tea, sandwiches, as well as loaves and loaves of bread. And they're just chowing down, and you can tell this is where the woman got her bread from. Oh, the kindling! Oh, this is so wonderful. Everyone, put them down here. Put them down here, and you can see there's tons of wicker baskets, kindling twigs, things like that, and they're making like giant balls of sticks out of all of this. It looks like they're working, but they've taken a break to eat some like lunch or whatever time it might be. What is this now? It's like 10 a.m. I don't know. Whatever. They're having some tea sandwiches and some tea. This is ended up being like Pulp Fiction, where they're eating burgers at 7 a.m. in the morning. That's kind of what this is, okay?
Right.
They're just eating, and everybody here, it looks as though they are more interested in the food than the work that they are doing. What do you do when you come in?
Are they, so you said, are they like taking these baskets apart to create kindling?
It looks like they are taking anything out of stick and making like spheres out of these sticks, like bending them and like weaving them together so that it makes like these giant, not giant, but like, beach ball sized, maybe even bigger balls of stick and kindling.
I kind of just want to observe the area before I start talking to anyone.
I'll start talking.
There you go.
We're so sorry to interrupt your breakfast. We were looking to find the burgomaster.
You kind of speak, I assume, to the baroness?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, you must not be from Vallaki. She says, you and your friends, Vistani?
No, unfortunately not. I've been told I have the appearance, but I am not. None of us.
It's okay,
Vistani.
she says. It's okay. All will be well.
All will be well.
All will be well.
All will be well.
We are acquainted with your brother.
I like how Michelle.
Evolution.
I like how Michelle says it like a robot.
From my understanding, that's the tone of the whole thing. So
All will be well. My brother, you said.
Yes.
Father Lucian.
You're friends with my brother, Lucian?
Yeah, we just came from there.
Oh, it's been a few weeks since I've seen him. He
Why
sent you
so
to
long?
me? Well, with the most recent festivals, there's been quite a bit to do. And she says, and I am so thrilled. We have so many volunteers, so many willing Vallakians who want to keep this town safe. And she calls out to everybody, isn't that right? And all the people stuffing their faces, these poor, these withered bodies eating all this food are like, we just want to keep this place safe.
So it seems that the town gathers together to help out for the festival.
When
And,
necessary, yes. When necessary.
In return, they get to partake in some food.
Well, these are all my close personal friends. Isn't that right? And they all like look at you, look at her, look at the food, and they're like, mm-hmm.
This
You
woman
didn't-
is
You didn't bake
crazy.
all this bread, did you?
Of course I did. Well, our servants did.
I see.
Tell me, what are you making these tinder things for,
Oh, these are.
Baroness?
I'm so glad you asked. And she looks genuinely thrilled that she has someone to talk to, and she says, "Come over here. I'll show you." And she brings you to
I'll
like
go
one of
over
the
there.
bigger wicker balls in the corner of the room that's been made already. It's like huge. It's like a almost like a those like what are those things that people get in and they ride them down hills like
Oh, like
Oh
Zorb.
yeah,
a
hamster
Zorby. Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
It's like massive. It's like a huge ball. And she's like, "We are going to be burning these for the festival of the blazing sun."
things. Well, isn't it too? How are you going to get out of the room? It's too big.
She's like, "Oh no, you're right. We'll just have to stay extra long today, everybody." And all the people are like, "Okay."
I
We'll have to
want to lean in to
Take it
one of
apart
the
and-
volunteers
Mhm.
and just be like, so how often is free food on the table here?
Whenever she calls us, it's free. We build something, and then we eat. And you'd
What have you?
be smart enough to sit down and eat right now.
Oh, I just had a steak.
Ah, well, la-di-da. What are you doing here, then, if you could afford steaks?
Just getting the lay of the land.
It's another old woman. I imagine a lot of old women here.
Oh, goodness. I walk away. I'm afraid of these old women.
Lakia is full of dangerous old women.
We're
They can
it's just
probably
a-
afford the food. They just don't want to pay.
Right, exactly. If they pretend to be your friends, they get to pay.
Well,
or the
I'll
Yeah,
ask,
that-
what other contraptions have you built in the past?
Oh, the pikes needed to be sharpened for the jamboree.
Hmm.
Before that, we had to make
And
a
have-
Woody the Woodpecker float for the parade.
Yeah, tell us about the last 10 festivals. We are so curious.
Please.
Well,
In depth.
of course, there was the universal what was it now? The hot air balloon. Yes, that was fun to make. That was
Ah,
very difficult.
yes.
Then there was the preserves. The preserves we feet and grapes all day long. Not sure why we had to smash them with our feet like wine, but it was a preserve.
Ah, it seems that that festival has run dry.
Glitterfest was marvelous.
Oh goodness!
You'll still
Glitter
find
fest.
some
Clean up,
glitter
I'm
in the
sure,
streets. You'll still find it in the
In
streets.
fact, I'm sorry. I see a piece of glitter right there on
Oh,
your face. I pick it
ah.
off.
Well, anything was better than Super Glue Festival.
Oh God. You know what? I'm
Alright.
sorry I asked. Please enjoy your bread.
Can I talk to the Baroness a little more?
Sure.
This festival that you're organising is on the same day as the Feast of St. Andrew. Won't you be going to
Yes.
the church of St. Andrew's?
It
temple.
is. It is in a way a shame. And you see, she's like, her mind is like trying. She's clicking, right? Gears are grinding here, and she's like, "But I believe it is an opportunity to have twice the fun."
So we also go to the church.
They
Your
are
brother
close.
was looking forward to seeing you.
They are close in time, unfortunately. But perhaps if you are quick enough, perhaps you can be there for the end of the feast.
And you will pay your respect to the bones, of course. And I'm going to observe her when I say this.
Bones?
The bones of St. Andrews.
Oh. The bones? The
That
ones
was the
in
custom.
Yes, the church. I mean, nobody does.
Oh.
It's not a part of the feast.
Oh, I thought it was a part of the feast.
No. I mean, there are bones interred somewhere in the church, but Not sure what that has to do with the festival. The festival is just a celebration of St. Andral's good deeds.
Can I do an insight test where she says that if she's like acting weird?
Yeah. But if you'd like to know more about the festival, my brother would tell you more. You said you knew him? How did you know him?
13. Oh, we just needed help. We have some children, some orphans we found.
You should take them to the orphanage.
Yes, well, he said he would care for 2 of them. Your brother.
I don't understand. He can't care for children. He's by himself.
He has, what is it? Milosevic and another
Miroslav
servant.
Yeska and
Milij and Yeska.
Yes, that's the names.
Oh,
I was very good with these names.
I mean, those are just kids, servants of the church. They're not able to take care of young children. Here, you should take them to the orphanage. In fact, it's something that I helped. Along with my husband, we helped set up here in the city.
You know, believe it or not, we've actually heard that the orphanage, and this I certainly don't think this is a reflection on you, but the orphanage may not be the most caring place for.
Oh, nonsense! Nonsense!
When
I've
was
been
the
there many
last time you
times.
went there?
I guess I haven't been there in quite some time, but I do go, and we volunteer there.
Who runs the orphanage?
That would be Madame Fromere. She's lovely with children. Never had any of her own.
Oh boy.
And where is your husband, the Baron, now, perchance?
If he's home, he might be upstairs, perhaps, but I think he may have left for the day.
We weren't told there was an office or like town hall anywhere, right?
This is it. And we have an
Okay.
open door policy. You can come in and work with me at any time of the day.
So if he had left for the day, where would he be?
Oh, he's got many things to attend to. And you get the sense that she's like, I have no idea what my husband does. She's like,
That's fair.
I imagine he's with Izek. He's with him often.
Ah,
I think
Izek.
I think Izek was here earlier today. Perhaps they've left, or like I said, perhaps they're upstairs. Maybe one of the guards can go fetch them for you, if they're still home. Please help yourselves to the sandwiches.
Can I gesture to Canas?
yes.
This lady is not entirely sane. Do not think we're going to get anything of value here. She does not seem aware of the bones. I think we should go.
I don't know if we should start telling everyone in this place about the bones.
Oh, you're right, but she already knew, you see, so I thought I was safe.
Ah, yes. I'm sorry.
Irina
My memory eludes me.
Oh, sorry.
Irina hasn't mentioned anything. She hasn't spoken up. She has her hood up, and she's kind of keeping a low profile. She doesn't know the Baroness at all, but she seems to be a minor celebrity anytime you brought her up. So she decides it might be best to just kind of keep quiet. She has
that makes sense.
Micah. Micah looks like he's honestly able to walk on his own. He should be able to scurry about. So he's looking at the wicker baskets and the balls and stuff like that and playing with them.
Before we head out, I'll approach the Baroness myself and I'll say, Madame, a quick question. I am looking for maybe I think a friend. I'm looking for a girl who has a beautiful long blonde hair. Do you know anybody like this with golden locks?
I must have someone in my circle of close friends that has blonde hair, but I would have to think about it. She looks at the table and she's like, no, perhaps not. There's no blonde-haired person here.
How many close friends do you have?
Many, so many.
Hmm.
So many.
Okay.
I have my one friend, Taylor. Other friend, Dua.
Dua Lipa.
You know her as well?
Oh, goodness.
My good friend Noah Khan, Zach Bryan, Travis Scott.
Baroness, we appreciate you.
Do you know
taking the
Herman?
Time.
Do you know Muse?
Do you know Herman and his hermits?
Ah, yes, I'm familiar with it.
So diligently preparing for the festival.
I think
Now-
he's related to Mrs. Jones,
Uh,
my lovely daughter.
Lydia, that's your name, is it?
Yes, Lydia.
Are you the one who runs these festivals?
No, that of course is my husband's doing. I just support him. And
do you
these
have any
effigies.
do you have any-
Sorry, she says these effigies will be just the thing he needs for this festival to really blaze.
Do you have any input in what festival comes next?
No, but I'm sure that I will know very, very soon.
Well, might I suggest the Chai Harvest Festival? I'd be willing to
Ah.
hand out a few flyers.
But you could pass out flyers. She has flyers. She'll give them to you for the Blazing Sun Festival. I don't know about this Chai Harvest Festival, but perhaps you could pass these out.
Great. I'm thrilled. I grab a boatload of flyers.
There you go.
How did this happen again?
She says thank you again, and again, remember, all will be well. And if you ever want to have tea, please come back. I don't think I got all of your names. It was Canas, did I hear?
Yes.
Dione,
Yes, pleased to meet you.
Rufus,
Yes.
Laurent,
Yes. Pleasure to meet you too, Baroness.
and you there with child. What is your name? And Irina looks up and she looks to all of you. She kind of looks to you for some sort of guidance.
Oh, this is my wife, Gwen
Yes.
of Gwaindire.
Give me a deception roll.
Gwen Stefani.
Oh no, is guidance? Can I cast guidance non-verbally?
I think it's a verbal thing, but you could try to hide it if you want with a sleight of hand.
got
Yeah, I know,
11.
and I get it. It's some kind of weird way to do it with my
Or
class.
stealth. I don't know.
Hmm.
Nope, I just know it. I will try and cast it as subtly as possible, so I will roll the stealth. Do you want stealth or sleight of hand?
It's up to you. I'll decide. If you want to like cover your mouth or something for your kind of like hide your body.
Yeah, I kind of try and like I'm sneezing, but in fact
Sure.
I'm casting.
Go for it.
That's a
22.
22 on sleight of hand.
Okay. And cast guidance and do with the D extra D4, Ranger. Roll your dice.
I got it.
Ooh.
So I got a total of 15.
She says, "What a lovely name, Gwen. Anytime you would like to have tea with me, please, just come. The door is always open." And she says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to making these effigies." And she gets back to the table and, talks with her friends. And the camera will kind of like pan out here. Beyond the dining room of the Baron, beyond the Baron's mansion, and overlooking all of the village of Vallaki. And the rain starts to come again.
Yeah.
And at this point, we'll pause here. We'll see you next week for our big episode 10. Oh, excuse me. No, wait. We have to chat, everybody. Stay tuned on social media, YouTube, community, Discord, all that stuff. I'll be posting up because there's a chance we actually may not be meeting next week. I actually haven't talked to all of you yet, but we'll chat, we'll discuss, and then we'll let you all know. But if we do miss 1 week, we certainly will be back the following week. Nothing should be holding us up any more than that. But more to come and more information. Stay tuned. Let's get us out of this dreary mode here. But we'll be back, and a couple other things to remember. Like I said, look for this weekend. We've got a big announcement coming about something coming on the channel. And then really excited for the springtime, which is right around the corner. We're going to be having some more new games on the channel. So stay tuned. Lots of stuff to come. And Curse of Strahd, episode 10 next week. We'll see you all on the tabletop. Have a great night.